Good evening again, our audience from around the world. Today we're going to be discussing the disturbing political crisis in Rivers State. Uh, the minister of the Federal Capital Territory was supposed to come to Rivers State, I guess, for a Thanksgiving service. And this has been rejected by the traditional ruler of Abalama, the Amayana.
Balam. Yeah.
Yes, the Amayana Bull. And this is because of the crisis and the security concerns. With me to discuss this and more of the Wike versus Fubara saga is Warifa Marcos. Warifa, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
So can you give us a brief background? There's a Thanksgiving that's supposed to, go on, and the traditional ruler has rejected Wike's attendance of that Thanksgiving. What are your thoughts?
Okay. Well, the Thanksgiving went on as Wike's party planned it. It held today, but you know, I saw some clips about the indigents protesting, and some mobile policemen were firing tear gas at them, trying to disperse those people protesting, blocking the road. But even with that, it still held, and there was some crowd that came for the Thanksgiving. But to me, having such things, having such a Thanksgiving at this point of time, after his comment which he made in social media with some pressmen, talking about the Jaw nation, talking about Jaw people that they can never become a governor except in Bayelsa State, and saying that the Jaw is a minority in Rivers State. And he now went to one of the Jaw land, Abalama. Now, going there is like fueling more crisis in it. And going to that place, to me, the way I see it, is just to maybe let the Jaw people know that even with all whatever thing you people have said, I can still come to your place and have Thanksgiving. But we all know that all these are political, because during his time, I think Kelly, one of his commissioner during his time as a governor, I think he's from Abalama. So these guys, they would have arranged those things for the Thanksgiving to hold, and to show that they still have a say in River State and in Jaw land. But to me, that's not necessary, because doing those things is like somebody that is fighting against yourself. Even with this, Fubara has not said anything. So doing those things, to me, I don't see it as anything. If you are more than somebody, you are more than the person. You don't need to prove anything to show that you are more than the person. That's the way I see it. Then I don't know if I can digress a bit too. I think as at yesterday, during the Supreme Court judgment, they said what was it called? Fubara should represent the 2025 budget to the River State House of Assembly. That's the pro-Wike's people. And on Wednesday, before Wednesday, he wrote to them that it's coming. And when he got to the lodge, because the normal building where the House of Assembly they normally meet has been pulled down. So then they normally meet at the residence of the House of Assembly quarters. When he got there, the gate was shut, it was locked. And there was no access for him to to present the budget. Number one, to me, that was an insult to the governor. If it was Wike that was the governor and such type of thing happened, I know what Wike would have done. Aside that, okay, now, why did they do that? They are trying to frustrate the effort of the governor, because the Supreme Court said if the governor does not present the 2025 budget, that the federal government allocation to River State will be withheld, and some other finances. So what I see they are trying to do, after the governor wrote to them again, after them shutting the gates, he wrote to them again that was, I think, yesterday, that he'll be presenting the budget again on Wednesday, that this coming Wednesday. And now the House of Assembly, they've gone on definite, what's it called? Recess. They've gone on recess, definitely. Now, what are they trying to do? They are trying to frustrate the governors that you will not be able to present the budget. And with that, there will be no federal government. To me, all those things, you don't need it. Fubara will not suffer. It's the state that will suffer,
Yeah,
the indigene
the
that
civil
will suffer.
servants and the
Because
indigents that will
federal
suffer.
federal federal government state the River State government cannot pay the workers. The contracts going on in River State will be withheld. So you are just punishing the people. And again, where I see so much foul play on this, that there is a script that they are acting. Now, before this time, the 27 lawmakers of the River State House of Assembly, they defected to APC. They even went on air making video carrying APC flag. We're saying it that they celebrate that. Okay, for the Supreme Court to want to make a judgment, why didn't they start from that? Now they were saying some persons were saying that the 27 lawmakers they don't have the APC membership card. But even Wike himself said it that once you vacate your seat, automatically your position and everything becomes vacant. But now they are doing the opposite. So to me, I think the judiciary, they need to sit up to be able to curtail some happenings in River State and Nigeria as a whole. And this coming week, one funny thing about Fubara is that Fubara is just taking it. I don't know I believe he has some advisors, but he's just taking it calm. On social media, you see people advising him, abusing him. What do they want him to do? Do they want him to go head along with Wike, abusing Wike or giving order? You cannot, too wrong doesn't make it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I agree with you, Warif. But I think the Supreme Court has ruled, and I think presenting the appropriation bill to just three people was ill-advised. Was ill-advised because when lawmakers defect, they automatically lose their seat. Legally, that is not self-executory. The courts have to rule. Yes, they have to rule for that. It's not self-executory. So you don't take law into your hands. At the end of the day, the courts have to, you intervene, and you have to wait for that before you then present the appropriation bill to just three people. And I would like to bring in Kule here. The Supreme Court has ruled there's egg on Fubara's face. He has eaten the humble pie. He's trying to do some reconciliation and get the defected lawmakers on his side again. But pretty much they're frustrating his efforts. And
that was the order. That was the order from Supreme Court that those guys they should take them in as part of the House of Assembly.
But now, as it appears, the impeachment route appears to be what the ace up their sleeves. I don't know what your thoughts are, Kunle. In this kind of situation, the governor has eaten the humble pie, is trying to extend an olive branch and see how we can mend fences, but it appears those people want to get him out anytime soon. What do you think, Kunle?
Yeah, the way I look at this crisis, the first thing I look at is anybody in this National Assembly, within any of these members that we can call the good guys? Are there any progressive people in government that, if they're able to get their own way, they would actually do anything good? I mean, even Wike, none of these people are progressive. And it's blindingly obvious, and it's so frustrating when we're looking at these sort of incidents where the discussion is more on impeachment, it's more on frustrating the operations of government in the pursuit of power or the removal of somebody from a position of power or to discredit somebody. And that's what the politics are in River State. There's little to no discussion about any actual seriousness in getting anything done. And when you have such dysfunctional people, before you even start thinking about what you're going to do to improve the lot of the of the average South-South man, we're miles away from it. We're miles away from it, and it's hopeless. And it's so hopeless that even discussing the legal or the technical positions of what's going on, it feels pointless because I can't even pinpoint someone that says, "Oh, let me support this guy because let me support the governor," because I don't know what that governor is planning to do, and his detractors as well. And that's where my own mind goes. There's no good guys in this. There's just a power
Yeah.
struggle.
No, but
And
no, but Kule, with Wike being so powerful in an APC-led federal government, the crisis could invite federal intervention, and federal intervention would mean support for Wike, and that would limit the autonomy of the state and the governor, which is not really very nice. I don't know what your thoughts on this are.
yeah, Wike is a destructive force. Anything that you give him is going to destroy. I just don't like Wike. I don't like giving him any kind of what's the word I'm struggling to find. Any kind of motivation to empower him to do anything. I don't see him as a good person. I don't know how he manages to maintain. Every time I hear his name, there's always one scandal or another, whether it's within government or whether it's knocking down houses. It's something negative all the time. He's just associated with negativity. He's just one of the biggest disasters that has ever afflicted Nigeria, but it just keeps going. And I feel sorry for River State. And when I say I feel sorry for River State, I feel sorry for the ordinary man in River State because they have to endure this. But then you say you get what you vote for, and I don't know whether lessons be learned.
Absolutely. Warif, where do you see this going? Because now Wike is beginning to fan the flames with his ethnic statements against the Ijaws, that they're minority and that they can never have a governor coming from their, ethnic division. Where do you see this going? In Rivers State, where do you see this going? Because the Ijaws are incensed that Wike is beginning to bring in ethnic sentiments in this particular. Where do you see this going, Warif?
Well, at the Thanksgiving today, he came up and said that his statement here, I think yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, about the John Nation was misunderstood by so many people. Yeah, but what he's now trying to change his mouth, his comments, because the video is everywhere. And maybe because of the opera of the job, people talking about him that is a letdown and things like that. And one thing we can show that there's no politician that is self-made. There is no politician in Nigeria that is self-made. Even Wike himself, it was good Lord Jonathan and why that brought him into power. So for this, I'll call it a drama and a script that both parties are acting, because I know definitely Tim Fubara also has his own advisors that will be talking to him and advising him. Now I see that they'll be dragging it because the what's it called, Wike-led guys, they're just, it's like opening a can of worm, opening this, opening that, and leaving all undone. Of recent, I think was it yesterday, they were talking about the chief judge of the state, that he has forgery of his birth certificate or his age forgery. So they're just trying to create unnecessary things. So there is no particular one that is settled, that is done and dusted. Okay, he said present the budget. The governor said, okay, I'm ready to present the budget before the 27 lawmakers. But they've said they've gone on reset. So they are just trying to cripple the governor so that things will not work out in Rivers State. Like I was telling somebody, I said, right now, Rivers State is will take one step forward and 5 steps backward, and it will never help. Even if you want to play politics, don't allow the state to suffer. That is one thing I love about Lagos State. Look at Sonwo-Olu and what's the name of the other governor. But projects were still going on in Lagos State. There were some projects that I think Greater Port Harcourt that Amechi started when Wike came in. Because of their greed or whatever, he couldn't develop Greater Port Harcourt. So much money that went down, the place is left abandoned. Now, what they are trying to do is that maybe if SIM is unable to complete some projects before his time or before he will be impeached, that means by the time the next governor comes, that might be Wike's boy, they'll abandon those projects. That's waste of government fund. So they should just, even if you don't want, so even if you don't want Wike Sim to continue or whatever agreement, whatever, allow him to finish his tenure. And maybe by just bringing the next person, whatever. And these Abalama people that I saw, what they're trying to do, you know, Wike has the power in River State. Let me use that word. Everybody is dancing around Wike just to get favor from him. Because Wike is not like the godfather of River State or maybe South politics. But you can never be in that position. One thing, look at other people, what Dili, what's it called? Amechi.
I think he's going to be a future president because he's shown that he's corrupt enough to be a future president and he's messed up enough.
Hold on a sec, Warif. Kule, if you look at this situation right now, the target of the pro-Wike guys is basically to impeach him because it appears they cannot get their agenda to fruition if they don't get rid of Fubara. And I look at it, is it possible for them to impeach him? And if they impeach him, what are the possible ramifications? Because if you look at that state now, it's on the verge of chaos. And I don't know, the governor has had to take it on his chin and see that, okay, he has made a mistake and is trying to mend fences and reconcile, but they are not forthcoming. They just want to get rid of him. Where do you see this ending? What is the end game for Wike in River State, Kunle?
I think the end game for Wike, I think, is obviously to remove Fubara, but I don't know where they want to go after that. I don't know what they want to do after. They don't have any positive plan. All they're thinking about is seizing of power. As to anything progressive, I think it's a step. It's one of the many steps that Wike wants to take towards eventually becoming the next, major person that has a chance to become president. I think that it's becoming the skill in politics now is about how you can discredit, remove, impeach, frustrate egos, power bases. But you're not hearing anything remotely related to anything that you want to do for the betterment of the people of River State. So that's how I feel about it. It's hopeless. I mean, I despise talking about it because it's so depressing. They're so far away from having a government that has the people's interests at heart. It's so distant from that. We can't even begin to discuss that. And that hopelessness is very sad for River State. I feel very sorry.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Warif, our godfather, which is the president, you would imagine that at his level, as a father figure, should be mediating.
He's not saying anything,
people, but it appears he's taking sides with Wike, and he appears to be mute, and his silence is implying that the support for Wike is ever even strong. I don't know why Tinubu has not done anything. River State economically is Nigeria's cash cow. You can ill afford a crisis in that state that would engulf the state and affect the revenues being generated. And I'm surprised that Tinubu is not saying something categorical and very direct. I don't know.
Tribalism, Tinubu is not from that area. And so in order to maintain any kind of popularity in that area, he doesn't want to be visible as a focal point.
No, he's the number one man of the country.
Sorry?
He's the number one man of the country. He has the power to call both parties, not to be partial.
No, but Warif, but whether you like it or not, he's on Wike's side. He's on Wike's side.
Yes. Let me say something.
The face that he gives in Rivers is not the face of Tinubu. It's the face of Wike. So when you feel you are supporting anybody, APC, you're not. If you put Tinubu's face there, it will have the opposite effect. If you put Wike's face there, then the people will feel to have confidence in the possibility that their own man can be the future. So that's
Mr.
why
Conley,
Tinubu wants to remain silent, because he's not popular in that region. So he's not going to want to show his
no,
face. Rather,
no,
someone else
see,
represent him
no, see, Tinubu is popular.
from the
Even
optics,
you see it.
position of the optics is
Okay,
what I'm saying. That's
okay.
what I'm.
The reason to me, the reason why I see that Tinubu has not really, or is being partial, if I may use that word, is that they are looking at the second term in office. You know, Wike is a man that does not have a secret. Wike might be your friend right now, but when you people go your separate way, Wike will blow everything open. So if Tinubu should call Wike to order and tell him the truth about the whole thing, maybe allow this man be and things like that. That's just my suggestion, that maybe Wike, if the president is looking at 2027 election, that he might lose out, or if they don't rig the election, if proper election is done, he might not get proper vote from the South, because right now Wike has the power. So let me use that word.
Yes,
Wike
I
has the
mean, it's
power in
still
the
a mystery
South
to
too
me
much.
how APC got anything in the South. I don't know who voted. I'm still wondering how that happened.
According to Fela, said it's government magic.
It's real
Government
magic.
magic
I
in
have no
Nigeria.
idea how he got. I mean, I
Government
don't know how
magic.
he did that.
Government
And
magic.
I know that there
So
must
if
be some people there. That's why I say Wike is
yeah,
number one person that would have carried, whether legally or illegally or popularly or unpopularly, it would have been Wike that was behind it. So he's probably leaving him to get on with it. Tinubu doesn't want to be visible or noticeable as being the main protractor in that area.
but even if Wike does not want, he's having issue with him. There's how you can do it. Allow this man to finish his 4 years, then bring in somebody. Even if you want, because right now nobody understands Wike if he's in APC or PDP. He's on both sides. If you want to claim that you are still in PDP and you want the PDP to still continue with in River State, why not allow this man be and bring in another person? And no matter what, a governor is a governor. The governor cannot be there and you want to be remoting the governor. He has the power. Nobody will want it. Even if there's an agreement, like most people are saying now, that maybe they went into agreement within Sim and Fobar, Sim and Wike. Even if they went into agreement, I don't really
And
know.
you
Okay,
know
somebody
what,
was saying that
Warren? And the
what is
annoying
the
part
agreement?
now is
Now
that
Wike should say it.
the annoying
Yeah,
part now is that the PDP, who are supposed to be giving the governor some kind of support and backup,
Back
they
up.
become a
Yeah.
castrated dog and they're not saying anything.
They're having issues. They're having their own issue. So Wike is really plotting it down for dealing with them. I don't know how he does these things, or I just cannot really understand for now.
Okay. Kule, quickly, your last thoughts as we round up.
well, the road is long in River State before we see any kind of good governance. Not this election cycle, not the next election cycle. I think that the people are going to be more in nothing positive is gonna come out of there. It's very sad and very hopeless to say so. And if Wike does get his way, it's just going to, for me, I don't really know much about whether Fubara is a good man or not, but I don't see anyone that can be much worse than Wike and his cronies and Tinubu, and anything they touch turns to SHI, sugar, honey, ice, and tea. And for that reason, I'm not very hopeful for the developments in River State. It's very sad. And this is our most productive area in terms of oil and resources. And they need to develop because they need the stability, they need the infrastructure.
Yeah.
And that discussion is so far away from being had right now. And it's just so hopeless. I don't even have the energy to discuss the politics of the embankment between these two, because that should be at the forefront. At least if that had been an issue on which they were trying to impeach themselves or fight each other on issues of policy, that would have been better. But that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. And it's hopeless. It's hopeless. They're just too narcissistic. The parties are far too narcissistic and nobody's interested in. I mean, people are not going to get paid. They don't care. The instigators are doing that. They don't care. They're doing that to improve their power position and to discredit the governor. There are other ways that
yeah,
you can fight the governor
absolutely.
other than by
Absolutely.
stopping
And
the
it's so
operation of
sad
government.
because the people that
Civil servants will
the people
suffer.
that voted you in should be the priority here. It's so sad. Warif, your last thoughts as we round up.
Well, what I would say is this: both parties. They well to me. I don't. Fubara to me, Fubara is ready to do anything because the way I see, he has the citizens at heart. He's ready to do anything for peace to reign. So I just want to say that the 27 lawmakers, they should give peace a chance and stop frustrating governor. I know they are acting on the script from their master, but they too, they should know that their families and their other relatives are also members of communities in River State. So they should allow peace to reign.
Yeah, basically, in my own opinion, as we round up this show, I feel the president, Bola Tinubu, should come out categorical. He should be firm and make his intentions known, so that his
Both
silence
sides.
won't mean that he's taking sides with Wike. He
Sides.
should intervene and make it very decisive. And it's on that note that we round up this political show. From Warif, Kuli, and myself, it's a good night from here.
Good night for me. Good night
Yeah.
for